God, no. What are you doing? Help. Yo. I am so sorry. I did not know that was going to happen, guys. I put on a filter on Facebook and I didn't realize that it was a baby shark filter, so I apologize for the initial noise. Hi to whoever came in. Say hi. Say hi. Don't be rude. Okay, here we go. Use code. All right, guys, I've got a special thing for you guys today. Hold on. 65% of everything in my e-store. Gumroad.com. Okay, cool. Hello Facebook. Okay, we're about to go live on YouTube, Instagram, and Periscope. And come on, where's the button? All right, I hope you guys are having a fantastic Thursday. I think we're on Lula. Yes, okay, here we are. Hello, everybody. How are you? How are you? Happy Thursday, everybody. I know, I'm on way early today. I'm usually on at 6 p.m., but I had an unexpected day off. And I've got errands to run, and it's my birthday weekend, and your girl's trying to be out in these streets. So I still got to get this work out to you guys. So I wanted to get on here, give your information, and also partay. Today is a very special episode. This is, while I do have my usual stories, if you've watched me with any regularity, you know it's usually stories. Today, it's mostly the questions and topics that you guys have submitted that I've done research on. Thank you to everybody who participated, particularly Kayla Johnson and Nicole Butler. They submitted some really cool topics that I had not even thought about, and I want to thank them very much. If I could tag them in this. How you tag somebody in something? Okay, so it's not working on Facebook, but I'll tag them after. Anyway, but let's get to our greeting, okay? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Thursday to everybody. If this is your first time hearing my voice or seeing my face, I am Natalie Pierre-Lewis. I'm the owner and operator of NPL Consulting LLC, a business formation firm. What that means is I help you get your business paperwork together, things like getting registered, making sure you have contracts in order, getting trademarked, providing infrastructure for your business. Thank you to whoever came in on Facebook. Say hi. I help you do all of that stuff. You might be wondering why I am qualified to help you all with all that stuff, and I'm so glad that you asked. I am a licensed attorney, have been one for over a decade. I actually have to renew my license this month. I have started multiple businesses for myself and others. I've had many careers in the realms of law, entrepreneurship, education, hospitality, and administrative support. And most important, I'm very passionate about making business and legal education as accessible to everybody as possible. Not everybody has the time, the money, or the desire to go to business school or to law school. But so many of you guys have amazing business ideas. And if you're going to be successful in business, there are just certain topics, certain concepts that you have to know as a business owner if you're going to be successful. Thank you to the second person and the third person who came in on Facebook. Say hi, y'all. All right. If you are interested in any of my business formation services, I urge you to go to the link in my bio, not linktr.ee/NPL Consulting Firm, linktr.ee/NPL Consulting Firm, linktr.ee/NPL Consulting Firm. There you're going to find some really cool stuff. You're going to find the back episodes of my video broadcast. You'll also find access to my podcast where I interview entrepreneurs in unique areas of industry. And you're going to get access to a really cool sale that I have going on right now, guys. My birthday is coming up. It's on Sunday. And for my birthday, I'm giving you a present. I'm giving you 65% off of everything in my e-store. So if you look, if you're on Facebook and you look in the comments, you'll see the comment that I wrote. So if you use the code birthday in my e-store, gumroad.com/nplconsultingfirm, the link to that is also in the link in my bio, linktree.ee/nplconsultingfirm. If you go to my e-store, everything is 65% off when you use the code birthday. So I've got my video trainings, I've got my ebooks, I've got ebook bundles, I've got my crafter's contract, guys. Everything in there is 65% off. So go take advantage. The sale will end when my birthday's over, which is Sunday at midnight. All right. So make sure that you grab your digital products while they are for the low. Now, the reason why we're here. Every week I come here, I gather stories throughout the week that have to do with pop culture and celebrities and where they intersect with business, particularly having to do with trademarks, contracts, anything that has to do with your business structure. And I talk about them with you guys, and we pull the lessons from them to help make you guys and myself better business people, right? We talk about celebrities, we talk about local stuff. It's a fun time. This week, however, the stories weren't as robust as they usually are. Anybody who's watched me with any regularity knows that I usually have anywhere from 10 to 15 stories. This week, we were so dry. So I put out a call and I asked you guys to, give me some topics, some stories, and you delivered. And I thank you so much for that. We do have a few stories that we're going to run through very quickly, but then we're going to get to your stuff. All right. So the first story that we are talking about, this is the case of Mission Products Holdings versus Tempnology. Okay. So in this case, the company Tempnology, they had a trademark for this thing called Cool Care. And it was Cool Care referred to clothes and accessories that kept you cool while you exercise. So think about kind of like an answer to when you have your workout clothes and they say dry fit. This is kind of their answer to dry fit. This is Cool Care. All right. Now, they had an agreement with this company, Mission Products Holdings, that Mission Products Holdings could use this trademark Cool Care for certain products. Hey, Drew, how are you, my dear? Guys, my very good friend Drew Vernette is on Facebook watching right now. She is an amazing author and speaker. Go check her out on all the socials. She will help you change your life rapidly. Drew, can you put the link for your book in the comments? Anyway, so Mission Products had a license agreement for with Tempnology to use the Cool Care trademark, right? But then Tempnology went bankrupt. And then when companies when you file for bankruptcy, a lot of times you can get out of a lot of contracts that you make. So Tempnology basically said, well, we're filing for bankruptcy, so we don't want you to use our Cool Care trademark anymore. This is what they told Mission Products. However, so they sent a cease and desist. And basically the judge said, you can't do that. You're basically hindering someone's ability to make money. So they upheld the licensing agreement for this company that was using Tempnology's trademark. So the lesson that you can pull from this story is that if you have a licensing agreement with someone, like you want to use their mark, just because they go bankrupt doesn't mean that they can force you to stop using the mark. And on the converse side of that, if you give someone permission to use your trademark and you go out of business, you can't keep them from using your mark, okay? So if they have an agreement with you. Now, there has to be an agreement in place, all right? So that is our first story. So if a company ever goes into bankruptcy, you know what to do. Next story we are talking about, it comes from our neighbors up north, but I thought that it would be a really cool thing to talk to you guys about, because this is where business and government meet. So in Canada, these two brewing companies, they came together and they developed a beer that they named Fort Calgary. Okay. Now, initially, thank you for that link, Drew. The title of her book is Truth, Triumph, and Change, Inevitable Transitions. She's got an amazing story. Go check her out. Hello, Nesty Time. Anyway, so back to Elite and Bow River Brewing. These two brewing companies, they came up with this drink, Fort Calgary beer, right? However, and they got permission, actually, they got written permission from Fort Calgary, which is an actual place, to go ahead with this beer as long as they had permission, as long as they let people know that they were not affiliated with Fort Calgary, right? However, the city of Calgary in Alberta, Canada, sent them a cease and desist letter because the city of Calgary has a trademark for Fort Calgary. Now, so now the city of Calgary and these beer companies are going to sit down and see what kind of, mediation, what, where they can meet in the middle, because it's going to cost these $1,000 to change the labels. I'm sorry if that cut out for anybody on Facebook. Apparently I had a low network for a second, but I'm back. Anyway, so yeah. So they're going to see what concessions they can come up with and see if this beer company can still use this name, even though the city has a trademark on the name Fort Calgary. So again, this is where business and government meet and where they can clash, okay? Because if you remember, I've talked about stories how, you can make a product with the NASA logo, but you still have to let them know. You can make a product with, let's see what else, like NYPD, the NYPD logo. There's been a lot of controversy over people using that logo for merch. So you got to think about that, okay? Next quick story. Yeah, we're flying through these, guys. We've only got like two more after this. This is a quick story about whether you can trademark signature moves. Now, you know that I've talked about dances, right? But this is different. A signature move includes moving images which can combine colors, sounds, and aspects of product design. So when you think of motion trademarks, I want you guys to think of the Lamborghini doors. Lamborghini doors, they open up like up. They don't open like a regular door. They go up, right? That is a signature move of the Lamborghini car. As well, who had a Nokia when cell phones first came out? I know. Well, I didn't have a Nokia. Yeah, I didn't have a Nokia. But anyway, if you think of a Nokia phone, when it opens up, the display is two hands reaching out. That is a motion trademark. That is Nokia's motion trademark, okay? Now, the rules when it comes to a motion trademark are that it must not be functional. So if we go back to the example of the Lamborghini doors, usually doors just open in and out, right? So if your motion trademark was going to be just for a door opening, that would not be viable. However, because the Lamborghini doors have such a weird, way of opening, and it's not like the way that they open does not necessarily add to the function of the car, they're able to trademark that. So your motion trademark can't be something that is so obvious. So like, it can't be like me waving hello to you, or it has to be something kind of unique. All right. So be careful again with your trademarks. There are so many different formats of trademarks now, especially now that technology is really rapidly changing. Now we're coming out with 3D trademarks. And that's a whole nother can of worms. So be careful, guys. Okay. Quick updates on the Olivia Jade story. If you don't know who Olivia Jade is, she is one of the children at the center of this college. Hello, Labbe Insurance Agency. How are you? Guys, if you need any insurance needs, go to Labbe Insurance Agency. She is awesome. She's my insurance agent, and I wouldn't go with anybody else. Anyway, but back to Olivia Jade. So if you remember at the college admissions scandals, parents were paying for their kids to get into school, all that stuff. One of the people involved was Olivia Jade, who was the daughter of Lori Loughlin, who was famously on Full House, and her father is the creator of the Mossimo brand. Anyway, so when this scandal came out, it affected, of course, my dear, it affected a lot of her deals. She had, you know, cosmetics deals, because she's a big influencer, particularly for college students. And if you remember, I remember I talked about the story where it came out that she had filed these trademarks for, you know, Olivia Jade, and it was full of punctuation marks, and they were saying it was going to get rejected, and everybody was laughing at her. However, I read an article today that said that the punctuation problems were not Olivia Jade's fault. The punctuation problems were probably came from the PTO system, because the way when you are applying for a trademark on the PTO system, it is a computer program, and you're just clicking and plugging away. So however the computer program, you know, compiles that, you have nothing to do with that. And apparently the PTO system is notoriously bad for punctuation. On top of the fact that they said there is probably a 1% chance that Olivia Jade filed that trademark application herself, and it was most likely a lawyer. So you should probably be making fun of the law school educated lawyer who could not submit a proper application to the trademark office. Okay. Hello, District Hemp. Hello, Cassidy. Oh my goodness, we got a full house today. I might need to come on at noon more often. But yeah, so Olivia Jade, she's not as dumb as we think. So don't make fun of her for those trademark applications. But this is a good lesson to know that you need to know what you're filing. Hello, I already said that. Okay, I already said that. You need to know what you're filing. So if you ever decide that you want to file your trademark, please know, you know, get some help from someone like me or another attorney, particularly one who focuses on trademarks, to help you submit your application probably, so they don't turn it back for poor punctuation and say no ma'am. All right. Thank you to everybody who came in. Remember that you can use the code birthday in my e-store for 65% off of everything. The link to that, go to linktr.ee/nplconsultingfirm. If you're on Facebook, the link is right in the comments, like the first comment. But go get you some stuff, 65% off. Some of the stuff in there is as low as $5. I've got video trainings, I've got ebooks, I've got bundles. Like, it's a lot of stuff going on in there, right? Last story we're talking about before we get to your question is Black Opal versus Black and Grown. Now, if you, any of my, you know, brown skin girls, you know, before we stepped up to, you know, MAC and then Fenty, a lot of us were going to CVS and we were buying the Black Opal brands of makeup. All right. It's quick, it's cheap. It works when you're on a budget. Now, I always thought Black Opal was Black owned. However, I found out recently that it's not, but you know, they market to a Black audience, right? Now, Black Opal their name used to be Black Opal, just spelled out Black, BLACK space Opal, OPAL. However, recently they rebranded and they changed their name to BLK/OPL, right? So it's still Black Opal, just the way that it looks is different. All right. Now, this company, the company that owns Black Opal is called Manna. They made about $285 million last year. Okay. So they're a very rich company. Now, there is another makeup company called Black and Grown. Now, the way that Black and Grown is expressed is BLK, addition mark, and then GRN. So they're trying to trademark Black and Grown, and Manna has filed an opposition to Black and Grown, saying that it's too close to Black Opal. I don't think it's that big. Hi, Sparks and Pores, my dear. How are you? I don't think it's that big of a difference. I mean, that big of a similarity. It's like, yes, BLK, but like, Mana, you don't own the letters BLK. BLK has been a very common abbreviation for the word black for some years now, and they're trying to stop another company from using that term for their brand. So this is being called, hello to whoever came in on Facebook. So this is kind of, there's a two-prong to this case. One, it's the idea of trademark bullying, because this company, Mana, is very rich, and they can basically use their legal team to tie up this smaller company in litigation and keep them from trademarking. And it's also being being talked about as a question of a company doing blackface, because so many people thought that this company, Black Opal, was black owned, was marketing to black women, and turns out it's not. So what I would like to know is your opinion. Do you think that Black Opal should be able to stop Black and Grown from trademarking the term Black and Grown? Now remember, Black Opal's new mark is BLK/OPL. Black and Grown's trademark would be BLK addition mark GRN. So I want to know from you guys, do you think that the company that owns Black Opal has an argument in saying that Black and Grown should not be able to trademark their company name? I really want an answer from you guys, because after that, we're going to move on to your questions. While you guys put in your answers, want to remind you again, 65% off everything in my e-store. Go to linktr.ee/nplconsultingfirm. It is the first link in the bio. linktr.ee/nplconsultingfirm. 65% off everything using the code BIRTHDAY. It's my birthday, y'all. I'm going to be some years old on Sunday. No, they should not. Okay, Nessie said no, they should not. Drew Burnett said that's ridiculous. They don't even use the same exclamations, the same exclamation symbol. Yeah, they don't. Nessie Time said no, so I've got 2 for no. And I tend to agree with you guys. You don't own BLK, and there are plenty of companies that have kind of similar-ish words, but it's like they're different. Thank you for the happy birthday. But I don't think that Black Opal should be able to sue to keep Black and Grown from trademarking their name. First of all, I didn't even know Black and Opal had changed their trademark. I thought it was still the old thing. I used to use Black Opal, when I was first in the makeup game. But apparently, they've upgraded, which companies do. But now you're trying to prevent a smaller company from breaking into. And the thing is, it's like, it's a small company, it's Black owned, and we're in an era where people are really trying to be conscientious about where they buy from. Can you trademark an acronym? You might be able to, but it would depend on what you're trying to trademark it for. Because remember, you cannot trademark into infinity. You can only trademark in your industry. So you might be able to. So if we take your method, I'm thinking of your thing, the rapid method. You would probably be able to trademark the rapid method for, what the rapid method entails. But you couldn't say, rapid method for everything under the sun. Okay? So thank you guys for your participation in that. Trademarks are a very interesting subject. Hello, 30 Dark Lovely. I love that name. It's so sophisticated and sexy. Thank you for joining. All right. So guys, we have covered all of our stories for today. Now we're getting to your questions, because again, this is the You Asked, I Answered episode, right? Before we do that, I want you guys to remember, I'm having a sale for my birthday. Sunday's my birthday. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. And for my birthday, I'm giving you guys 65% off of everything in my e-store. If you go to linktr.ee/nplconsultingfirm and use the code birthday when you hit the first link, you get 65% off everything in my e-store, okay? All right, so get to it. Now, let us get to your questions. Guys, this week I had a really awesome question from Kayla. She asked me if I could explain what a workers' cooperative is. And then I had another question from Nicole asking about Honda versus Hyundai. How many of us have, and I'm going to talk about Honda versus Hyundai first because it's very quick, and then we're going to get into the workers cooperative. Now, how many of you guys have ever confused Honda and Hyundai? The car things, like the car symbols. Don't be ashamed to say I have. Sometimes I'll say, is that a Hyundai, a Honda, or is that a Hyundai? If you don't want to admit it, that's fine, but I will admit it. Anyway, so here's the thing about Honda versus Hyundai. Honda is actually older than Hyundai. It was started about 9 years before Hyundai started. And Honda is kind of like and it was started as a motor company. So what they do is cars. Hyundai was started about 9 years after Honda, and they were a subsidiary of a larger, enterprise company. Now, Hyundai as a word in Japanese or Korean, I forget which company it's from. Anyway, but the word Hyundai means modernity. And I challenge you guys, the next time you see a Hyundai and a Honda, to look close. Now, when you look at the Honda logo, it is just a regular H straight up. And when you look at the Hyundai logo, it is slanted. So, you might think, well, that's just kind of like shifting a letter. However, what I did not know before I read this article is that Hyundai's logo is actually not just an H. Hyundai's logo is actually two people. One is supposed to be a salesperson and one is supposed to be the satisfied customer, and they meet in the middle and they're shaking hands. So I thought that was really interesting because it's not, hello DJ Polo Down, because it's not just an H. It's actually like a picture logo. So the next time you see a Hyundai, which is the slanted H, I want you guys to take a closer look and see if you can find those two people shaking hands in the logo, okay? All right. So that was the quick one. So now we are getting into the meat of our meetup here at noon. So my lovely Kayla asked me what a workers' cooperative is and if I could explain it. And that is what I'm going to do for you, dear. How? Can you tag people in videos? Somebody help me. I don't know. Okay, well, I'll just tag her later. Anyway, so what I want you guys to understand is a workers' cooperative, it is not a business entity. A workers' cooperative is a way of running your business, okay? So you still have to decide what your business entity is going to be, whether it's going to be a corporation or an LLC. So we've gotten that out of the way. A workers' cooperative is not a business entity. It is a way of running the business. So a workers' cooperative, by definition, is a business where the workers and the community are the focus instead of the profits. So if you think about a traditional business model, people own the business, they hire employees, and the point is to make as much money as possible. That is not the goal primarily of a workers' cooperative, okay? The workers own and participate in the success of the business based on participation. So you're not just working there, you own a piece of it. This is different from an employee stock ownership plan because workers' cooperatives are not federally governed. And with the workers' employee stock ownership plan, you don't get a say in how the company is run. Okay? Now, as the workers own and participate in the business, they are represented on a board of directors, and they get to vote for that board of directors. And each worker gets one vote. So it is an equitable distribution of votes. One worker, one vote. Now, depending on your type of business, so the thing that comes to mind is a grocery store. You know, you have a co-op grocery store. You can have multi-stakeholders. You can have the stock owners who are the workers who are in the store, but then you can also have the people who are patrons of the store. They all have, skin in the game to make sure that this store does well, but they have different roles as owners, okay? Now, again, remember, I said that a workers' cooperative, it is not a business entity. So you can use any corporate form that's convenient for your business. Most cooperatives are probably going to go towards the LLC and corporation route just because you're going to have multiple people. Most workers' cooperatives, they have about, oh, sorry, wrong note. Okay. So in terms of, let's look at the numbers. There are about 300 to 400 workers cooperatives in the United States, and they employ about 7,000 people and generate about $400 million in annual revenue. So that's nothing to sneeze at. Workers cooperatives seem to be doing, well in the business sphere, okay? You're usually going to find a workers cooperative if you are in the accommodation and food service. So Kayla, that's for you because you are in hospitality, in healthcare, in manufacturing and engineering, technology, and design. The average size of a workers cooperative is around 50 members. However, this is where your math comes in, guys. Now, if you remember in school, they taught us average, they taught us median, and they taught us mean, right? So average and mean are the same thing. It's basically just you take all the numbers, you add them up, and then you divide them. So the average size of a workers cooperative is 50. However, the median number of members for a cooperative is 10. So what that means is, even though the average number is 50, on a case-by-case basis, most workers cooperatives have about 10 members. The largest workers cooperative, which is probably why the average number got bumped up, has over 2,000 members, okay? Again, I want you to remember that there is no uniform legislation of workers cooperatives in the U.S. Now, this is a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because you can kind of shape your business into what you want, but it's a bad thing because it's kind of like, you might be, if you don't know what you're doing, you're running around in the dark, okay? Here are the basic principles of a workers cooperative. They have the objective of creating and maintaining sustainable jobs and generating wealth to improve the quality of life of the worker members, dignify human work, allow workers democratic self-management, and promote community and local development. Now, in plain English, that just means that the point of the main principle of the workers cooperative is to make money, to make sure that their workers are happy, to make sure that, the work that they do is safe and, they're respected in the workplace, and it gives them a say in how the place that they work in is managed, okay? And also, they're here to support the community. The second principle of a workers cooperative is that membership is voluntary. You cannot force someone to be a part of your cooperative. Now, if they don't want to be the cooperative, you may not want to hire them. But people don't have to participate in the workers cooperative. If you're going to be a member, it has to be voluntary, okay? In order to contribute with their person, the free of the member. Okay, yes. All right, the third principle. In general, the work has to be carried out by members. So you can't have all of these people in a workers cooperative, but nobody works in the business. So the people who are members of the workers cooperative are also expected to be workers, to be employees of this business. So they should be there and probably managing on a day-to-day basis, okay? The relationship that a worker member has with the cooperative is different from that of a traditional employee. So let's say the workers cooperative is like, you know, we're getting really swamped and we need to hire some hourly workers to help. Now they can hire those hourly workers. However, those hourly workers are not going to get the same amount of say that a workers cooperative member is going to say. They don't have a say in the hours. They don't have a say in how the business is managed. Only the worker members have a say in that, okay? The internal regulation of a workers cooperative, it is the way that it works has to be agreed upon by the members, and it has to be accepted. So you can't just come in and be a dictator and then say we're going to have a workers cooperative. Everybody has to agree, okay, on how it's going to be run. And the last principle is that workers cooperatives are supposed to be autonomous and independent. So they, as a collective, this workers cooperative can go and represent itself in a court of law, okay? So that is the basic breakdown of a workers cooperative. I was reading up on this and it seems like a really cool different style of business that, you know, really promotes buy-in and takes the workers into account. And it might be the future of, you know, the business landscape as smaller businesses pop up. You know, a lot of people don't want to be employees these days, and maybe a worker cooperative is a great way around that. All right. So I hope that that answered your questions. I would love to do another one of these, guys. If you have any topics that you would like me to discuss, please DM me, you know, I don't know, send a smoke signal, call me, whatever you can do. Send me a topic. I would love to talk about them with you. But I want to know, what do you guys think of workers cooperatives? Do you think that they are a good idea? Is that something that you would want to participate in? If you started a business, would you want to have a workers cooperative? Like, would you want the people who work with you to own a piece of the business as well? Let me know what you think, okay? And while you guys let me know what you think, I want to remind you again that I am having a birthday sale in my e-store. If you use the discount code BIRTHDAY and go to the link in my bio, linktr.ee/nplconsultingfirm, click that first link. Everything in the store is 65% off when you use the code BIRTHDAY, all right? So that is what I'm going to leave you guys with. I am going to go out here, enjoy you know, my birthday weekend, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.